Okay, get this. Imagine scientists making these huge discoveries, not over years, but like just months.
Yeah.
That's what's happening right now in material science, all thanks to AI.
It's really incredible.
We're going to deep dive today into this research paper.
Yeah.
It shows just how crazy fast things are changing.
Yeah, and it's not just like a small boost either.
Right.
This paper looks at, a real-world example, over 1,000 material scientists at a big U.S. company.
Wow.
And the results are really something they're showing AI driving the creation of materials that are totally new, stuff we haven't seen before.
Okay, so let's break this down. We've got this AI tool. It's cutting edge.
Yeah.
And these scientists are using it, and the researchers are like tracking what happens. What kind of impact are we talking about?
It's a big one. Think a 44% increase in the rate of new materials being discovered.
Whoa.
And we're not just talking about stuff made in a lab. This led to real-world stuff, like a 39% jump in patent applications and a 17% rise in new prototypes, all using these discoveries.
Those are some serious numbers, but you said novel materials.
Yeah.
How do we know these weren't just like minor tweaks to things that already existed?
That's where it gets really cool.
Okay.
The researchers actually measured how novel these materials were. They compared what the AI came up with to these huge databases of existing materials.
Yeah.
And what they found was that they were totally different. We're talking about brand new territory here.
So it's not just speeding up research. It's pushing these scientists into like uncharted territory.
Yeah.
That's so fascinating.
It is.
I'm guessing this also had an impact on the scientists themselves.
Oh, absolutely. And that's where things get a little more, nuanced. The AI isn't replacing scientists, but it is changing, like, the core of what they do.
Okay, I'm all ears. Tell me more about this transformation.
So picture this. AI doing the hard work of brainstorming new materials. This first idea generation stage, that's what they call it in the paper. Okay.
That's where scientists saw a 60% drop in their time spent.
Whoa.
But that freed them up to really focus on something crucial. Judgment.
So instead of spending all that time brainstorming, they're looking at what the AI suggests and deciding which ones to actually go after.
Exactly. Their time spent on this judging stuff went up by like a crazy 74%.
Wow.
And here's the thing. Not all scientists were good at this.
Now, this is where it gets really interesting. So who is actually thriving in this new, like, AI-powered world?
Well, what they found was really interesting.
Okay.
The scientists who were already, high-performing before the AI came along, those guys saw even bigger jumps in their discovery rates.
Really?
Once they started using it. And it wasn't about how good they were at brainstorming.
Oh, okay.
It was all about their judgment, their ability to look at what the AI came up with and pick out the good stuff quickly and accurately.
I'm seeing a pattern here.
Yeah.
It's not just about having AI. It's about having the right skills to actually use it properly.
You got it. And the paper really digs into why that is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Turns out it's all about domain expertise. The scientists who really did well with this AI, they had this deep, really nuanced understanding of their specific part of materials science.
So you can't just be any scientist. You
Yeah.
need to be a specialist.
Yeah.
Someone who can see the tiny little details that the AI might miss.
Exactly. They can look at what the AI was suggesting and, based on their experience, know right away which ones were going to be duds and which ones were worth pursuing.
Huh.
Some of them were so good, they could spot the wrong answers just by looking at the AI's output without having to do any of those expensive lab tests.
That's amazing.
It is.
It really makes you think twice about that whole idea that AI is going to make human experts like obsolete.
Right.
It seems like the opposite might be true.
Yeah, as AI starts taking over more of the, the routine stuff in research, human judgment, and that deep knowledge, that becomes even more valuable.
Yeah.
Those are the things that let us guide the AI, make its output better, and actually make those leaps forward that lead to real breakthroughs.
Okay, so let's get practical for a sec.
Sure.
If I'm leading a research team and I'm thinking about bringing in AI,
Yeah.
what are the big takeaways from this? Like, what should I be doing differently?
That's a great question. I think this study shows that it's important to invest in the people who are going to work with the AI, not just the AI itself.
So it's not about swapping out scientists for robots.
Yeah.
It's about giving the scientists the AI as a tool.
Exactly. And that means training them, supporting them, helping them develop those really important judgment and critical thinking skills.
Okay.
And it also means making sure that being an expert in your area is something that's valued
Right.
and encouraged.
It's like we got to rethink how we train scientists in this age of AI.
Yeah.
It's not just about memorizing facts anymore
Right.
or mastering techniques. It's about honing those higher level skills like analysis, interpretation, and making strategic decisions.
Yeah, exactly. It's about creating this new generation of scientists who are comfortable working with AI. See it as a partner, not a competitor,
Yeah.
and use its power to get some really groundbreaking results.
This is all super fascinating, but let's not forget about the human side of all this.
Yeah.
We talked about how AI changes how scientists work, but how did they feel about this new way of doing science?
Yeah.
Were they excited?
Yeah.
Scared?
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit of both.
It's definitely something that the researchers looked into.
Okay.
They wanted to understand how this whole AI revolution impacted things like job satisfaction,
Right.
how they felt about AI in general,
Yeah.
and even what they thought about the future of their field.
Okay, so let's dive into the real experiences of these scientists working in this AI-powered world.
Right.
What did the researchers find out?
Well, it's a bit more complicated than you might think.
Okay.
They gave the scientists a survey after they'd had some time to work with the AI.
Yeah.
And the answers were really interesting.
I'm all ears. Tell me everything.
Okay, first, the good news.
All right.
Most of the scientists, even the ones who weren't like the top performers,
Yeah.
they agreed that the AI was making them more productive. They could see that it was a powerful tool, helping them do more in less time.
So that's a win for AI.
Yeah.
It sounds like the scientists were, at least a little bit, embracing this new technology.
They were, but here's where things get a little tricky. Even though they knew they were getting more done,
Yeah.
almost half of them said that they were actually less satisfied with their jobs overall.
Wait, what?
Yeah,
They're getting more done, but they're less happy.
I know, right?
That doesn't make sense.
It might seem strange, but when you look at the reasons why they weren't as satisfied, it actually starts to make sense.
Okay, I'm intrigued. What were they saying?
Well,
What was making them unhappy?
the most common complaint was this feeling of their skills not being fully used.
Really?
A lot of them felt like the AI was taking over the parts of their job that they actually enjoyed, and that they found engaging. They missed that initial ideation phase, that brainstorming part,
Okay.
where they could be creative and really use their brains.
So it's like they were being turned into AI managers,
Yeah.
just overseeing this digital brainstorming machine instead of coming up with the ideas themselves.
You got it. And this feeling of being kind of pushed away from the creative process led to another common complaint. Their work just felt less creative, more repetitive.
Okay.
And even though the AI was helping to make more new discoveries overall,
Right.
the scientists themselves didn't feel as intellectually stimulated.
It's almost ironic, isn't it?
It is.
AI is pushing the limits of scientific creativity,
Right.
but the scientists using it are feeling less creative themselves.
Yeah, it's definitely a paradox, and it really highlights something important as we start using AI in more and more fields.
What's that?
How do we design these systems so that they make humans more creative
Yeah.
and more engaged
Right.
instead of less?
This makes me think about all those worries about automation in other jobs.
Mm-hmm.
People are worried about robots taking all the jobs and leaving humans with nothing to do.
Yeah.
But maybe the bigger issue is figuring out how to make work fulfilling and meaningful in a world where AI is doing a lot of the hard work.
That's a really deep point. It's not just about getting more work done. It's
Yeah.
about people being happy
Right.
and finding value in what they do. As AI gets used more in research and other fields,
Yeah.
we got to be careful about how we design these systems
Right.
and how we use them in a way that makes people's lives better.
So we've got this tension, right?
Yeah.
Where scientists see the good stuff about AI, but they're also feeling some real downsides.
Mm-hmm.
What about their fear of being replaced?
Yeah.
Were they worried about losing their jobs to robots?
Surprisingly, that wasn't as big of a concern as you might think. Even after working with the AI,
Ooh.
most of them didn't think their jobs were in danger.
So they weren't exactly picturing themselves being escorted out of the lab by a robot holding a test tube.
No, not quite.
Okay.
They seem to get that, at least for now, human judgment and expertise. Those are still essential to doing research.
Yeah.
The AI could help them boost their work, but it couldn't do it all on its own.
So it's not so much about being replaced, but about adapting, right?
Yes.
Figuring out how to do your job in this new world where AI is a big part of it.
Exactly. It's about navigating this change and finding a way to thrive in this new environment where AI is a powerful tool, but not the only thing driving scientific progress.
Which brings up another question.
What's that?
How do scientists get ready for this future?
Yeah.
How do they make sure they have the skills and the knowledge to be successful in this new era of AI-powered research?
Well, the survey results actually give us some clues about that.
Yeah.
They asked the scientists about their plans for professional development, and their answers were pretty interesting.
No.
After working with the AI, there was a big jump in the number of scientists who said they wanted to learn new things, get new skills, so they could work better with AI.
So they're not just sitting around waiting to see what happens. They're actually taking steps to prepare themselves.
Exactly, and I think that's a really good sign. It shows that they know they need to adapt, to change their skill set.
Yeah.
In response to these powerful new technologies, they're not afraid of the challenge. They want to figure out how to make AI work for them.
It's like they're saying, okay, AI's here to stay, so let's figure out how to be the best possible scientist we can be with this new tool.
That's a great way to put it, and that attitude, that willingness to learn and change, that's going to be crucial for anyone who wants to succeed in the future of research, no matter what field they're in.
This whole conversation about AI and the future of research makes me wonder, did these scientists have any idea what they were getting into before they started using this AI?
Oh, that's a good question.
Did they know how much it was going to shake things up?
It's funny you ask that because the research actually has a kind of surprising answer. It seems like even these super smart experts, people who are at the forefront of material science, they didn't fully grasp what AI would mean until they actually started working with it.
So even the scientists were taken aback by how much this AI changed their work.
That's right. The survey showed that beforehand, most of them didn't expect the AI to change their roles, their workflows, even how satisfied they were with their jobs as much as it did.
It's like they knew AI was a big deal, but they didn't quite get how much it was going to, rock their world.
Yeah, exactly. They knew a storm was coming, but they didn't realize how much it was going to reshape the whole landscape.
It makes you wonder, what else are we underestimating about the impact of AI?
Right.
What other surprises are waiting for us as this technology keeps getting better and better?
It's definitely something to think about.
Yeah.
And something we'll keep exploring as AI becomes more and more part of our lives.
It really highlights that we're all in this together, figuring out this new world of AI.
Yeah.
Even the experts are learning as they go.
Absolutely. It's a journey for all of us, and this research gives us some really valuable insights into the challenges and the opportunities that are out there.
This whole deep dive has been amazing.
It has.
We've seen how AI can make scientific discoveries happen so much faster,
Yeah.
how it's pushing scientists to create things we've never even imagined,
Right.
and how it's completely changing what it means to be a scientist.
And we've also talked about how this is affecting the scientists themselves, how they're both excited about AI and also dealing with what it means for their work and their own sense of, accomplishment.
Right.
It's a really complex and evolving story.
It is.
And this research gives us this glimpse into this really important moment in time.
What I love about this deep dive is that it's not just about the cool tech.
Yeah.
It's about what it means for us, for humans,
Yeah.
for the future of how we work, and for the kind of world we're building. It's been mind-blowing and really makes you think.
I agree. It brings up a big question. If AI can change things so much in materials science, what other fields are ready for this kind of revolution?
Ooh, that's a big one. So what are your predictions?
Well,
What fields are you most excited to see AI shake up?
we saw that AI does really well in areas where there's tons of data and a clear goal. Drug discovery is already benefiting a lot from AI.
Yeah.
And I think we'll see even more amazing things happening there.
Yeah.
But I'm also super excited about how AI can be used to tackle some of the biggest challenges we're facing.
Like what?
What kinds of challenges?
Yeah.
Think about climate change. We really need to come up with new energy sources,
Ah.
new materials for capturing carbon,
Right.
and better ways to model and predict how the climate's going to change.
Right.
AI could be a total game changer in all those areas.
It's like giving climate scientists a superpower.
Yeah.
They could run these simulations,
Yeah.
analyze tons of data
Yeah.
on a scale that was never possible before,
Exa-
potentially leading to huge breakthroughs in renewable energy, sustainable agriculture,
Yeah.
all sorts of important areas.
Exactly. And that's just one example. Imagine what's possible in personalized medicine,
Yeah.
where AI could help doctors create treatments specifically for each patient
Right.
based on their genes and their lifestyle.
Wow.
Or in neuroscience,
Yeah.
where AI could help us unlock the secrets of the brain
Right.
and come up with new treatments for brain disorders.
I'm getting chills just thinking about it.
I know, right?
It feels like we're standing on the edge of this incredible new era of discovery, and AI is going to be a major part of it.
It's an amazing time to be alive, and it's going to be fascinating to see how this all plays out.
Yeah.
But like we saw in this research, it's not just about the technology itself, it's about how we use it,
Right.
how we adapt to it, and how we make sure it ultimately benefits all of us.
That's a perfect way to wrap things up.
Yep.
This deep dive has given me a whole new perspective on AI and the future of research. It's not just about robots taking over.
Yay.
It's about a partnership between humans and AI,
Yeah,
a team that can unlock solutions to some of the biggest challenges we face.
couldn't agree more.
And who knows, maybe someday we'll be doing a deep dive into the groundbreaking research that you inspired by listening to this episode.
Ooh, I like that.
To all our listeners out there, what scientific breakthroughs are you most excited to see accelerated by AI? Share your thoughts with us on social media.
Yeah.
We want to hear from you. And until next time, keep diving deep and keep exploring the amazing world of knowledge that's out there.
Absolutely. Remember how we talked about those 3 main parts of a scientist's job?
Yeah, the idea generation, the judgment, and then the actual experiment.
Right, exactly. Well, the researchers looked at how much time scientists spent on each of these
Okay.
before and after they started using the AI.
And I bet those numbers, totally changed once the AI came into play.
Oh, yeah, you bet they did.
Okay.
So before they had the AI, scientists were spending almost 40% of their time on idea generation, brainstorming new materials.
Wow.
But with the AI there to help, that number dropped like a rock down to just 16%.
So the AI was basically taking over the brainstorming,
Yeah.
freeing up a ton of their time.
Exactly.
Where did all that extra time go?
Straight into judgment. The time they spent evaluating the AI's suggestions, deciding which ones to pursue, that went up by a whopping 74%.
So it's like the AI became this super efficient idea machine.
Yeah.
And the scientists could then focus all their energy on being master evaluators.
Yeah.
Sifting through the AI's ideas and picking out the good ones.
Exactly. It's a great way to picture it. It really shows how AI is changing what it means to be a scientist.
Yeah.
And remember we talked about some scientists being better at this judgment thing than others?
Right.
Well, the researchers were actually able to measure this. They came up with a way to measure judgment ability based on how good scientists were at picking out the promising compounds from all the AI suggestions.
And I'm guessing this judgment ability, it was a key factor in how much a scientist's productivity increased with the AI.
You got it. The scientists who were the best at judging the AI's suggestions, they were also the ones who saw the biggest boosts in their discovery rate.
Okay.
They were able to really use the AI's power because they could quickly pick out the good leads.
It's like having a world-class detective teamed up with a supercomputer that can analyze millions of clues.
Yeah.
The computer can process everything, but you still need a skilled detective to interpret those clues.
Right.
Separate the red herrings from the real leads and actually crack the case.
That's a brilliant analogy, and it really gets to the heart of why domain expertise was so important in this study.
Yeah.
The scientists who really thrived with the AI, they weren't just good at brainstorming or evaluating data. They had a deep understanding of their specific area of material science.
This is not enough to just be a smart scientist.
No.
You need to be a specialist.
Yes.
Someone who can see the nuances that the AI might miss.
Exactly. They could look at the AI's suggestions and just know, based on their experience, which ones were likely to be dead ends and which ones had real potential.
Okay.
Some of them were so good they could spot the false positives, the wrong answers, just by looking at the AI's output, without even needing to run any of those expensive lab tests.
That's incredible.
It is, right. It challenges this idea that AI will eventually replace human experts altogether.
Yeah.
In fact, it seems like the opposite might be true. As AI takes over more of those routine tasks in research, human judgment, and domain knowledge, those become even more important.
Yeah, they're what allows us to guide the AI,
Exactly.
to refine what it produces,
Yes.
and to make those leaps in understanding that lead to real breakthroughs.
Absolutely.
Okay, so let's get practical for a second.
Sure.
If I'm running a research team and I'm thinking about using AI,
Uh-huh.
what are the key things I should keep in mind? Like, what should I be doing differently?
I think this research shows how important it is to not just invest in the AI technology,
Right.
but also in the people who are going to be working with it.
So it's not about replacing scientists with robots.
No, definitely not.
It's about giving scientists AI as a tool.
Exactly. And that means giving them the training they need,
Okay.
the support to develop those critical thinking and judgment skills. And it also means creating a culture where being a specialist, being an expert in your area, is valued and encouraged.
It's almost like we need to rethink how we train scientists in this age of AI.
Yeah, I think so.
It's not just about memorizing facts and figures anymore.
Right.
It's about really honing those higher level skills, the analysis, the interpretation, and making strategic decisions.
You got it. It's about developing a new generation of scientists who are comfortable working alongside AI,
Yeah.
see it as a partner, not as competition,
Right.
and use its power to achieve truly groundbreaking results.
This is all super fascinating. But let's not forget about the human side of this whole thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
We've talked about how AI changes how scientists do their work. But how did they feel about this new way of doing science? Were they excited, apprehensive, or maybe a bit of both?
That's a really important question, and the researchers looked into that as well.
So,
They wanted to understand how this AI revolution was affecting things like the scientists' job satisfaction, their views on AI, even what they thought about the future of their field.
okay, so let's dig into what it was actually like for these scientists working in this AI-powered world. What did the researchers find out?
Well, it's actually a bit more complicated than you might think.
Okay.
They did a survey after the scientists had some time to use the AI, and the answers were pretty revealing.
Okay, I'm all ears.
All right, so first, the good news.
Okay.
Even the scientists who weren't, the superstars,
Yeah.
almost all of them agreed that the AI was making them more productive.
Hmm.
They recognized that it was a powerful tool that could help them achieve more in less time.
So that's a point for AI. It sounds like the scientists were, at least to some degree, embracing this new technology.
They were, but here's where it gets a little tricky.
Right.
Even though they knew they were getting more work done, almost half of the scientists reported feeling less satisfied with their jobs overall.
Wait, what? So they're getting more done, but they're less happy? That doesn't make sense.
It might seem strange at first, but when you look at the reasons why their satisfaction went down, it starts to make sense.
Okay, I'm interested. What were the scientists saying? What was making them unhappy?
The biggest complaint was that they felt like their skills weren't being fully utilized. They felt like the AI was taking over the parts of their job that they actually found interesting and engaging.
Like what?
Specifically, they missed that initial brainstorming phase. That part where they could be creative and use their brains.
So they felt like they were being turned into, like, AI managers?
Yeah, kind of.
Just overseeing this digital brainstorming machine instead of coming up with the ideas themselves.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. And this feeling of being kind of sidelined from the creative process, it led to another common complaint.
What, huh?
They felt like their work had become less creative and more repetitive.
Interesting.
Even though the AI was leading to these new and exciting discoveries, the scientists themselves weren't feeling as intellectually stimulated.
It's almost ironic, isn't it?
It is.
The AI is pushing the boundaries of scientific creativity,
Yeah.
but the scientists using it, they're feeling less creative.
It's definitely a paradox, and it highlights a really important thing to consider as we start using AI in more and more fields.
What's that?
How do we design these systems so that they actually boost human creativity and engagement instead of making them worse?
This makes me think about all those worries about automation taking over jobs.
Yeah.
People are scared of robots taking over, leaving humans with nothing to do. But maybe the bigger challenge is figuring out how to create work that's meaningful and fulfilling in a world where AI is doing a lot of the heavy lifting.
That's a profound point. It's not just about getting work done more efficiently. It's about people feeling good about what they do and finding value in their work.
Right.
As we use AI more and more in science and other areas, we have to be really thoughtful about how we design these systems and how we use them in a way that actually benefits people.
So we've got this tension. Scientists see the benefits of AI, but they're also feeling some negative effects.
Right.
What about the fear of being replaced? Were they worried about losing their jobs to robots?
It's interesting. That wasn't as big of a concern as you might think.
Really?
Even after working with the AI, most scientists didn't think their jobs were in immediate danger.
So they weren't picturing themselves being like marched out of the lab by a robot scientist holding a pipette.
No, not quite. They seem to understand that, at least for now, human judgment and expertise are still really important in research. Okay.
The AI could help, it could make their work better, but it couldn't completely replace them.
So it's not so much about being replaced, but about adapting, right?
Yes.
Learning how to work in this new world where AI is a big part of things.
Exactly. It's about figuring out how to succeed in this new landscape where AI is a powerful tool, but not the only driver of progress.
Which brings up a big question.
What's that?
How do scientists prepare for this future?
Yeah.
How do they make sure they have the skills and knowledge they need to succeed in this age of AI-powered research?
Well, the survey results actually give us some clues about that.
Oh, okay.
When they asked the scientists about their plans for professional development, the answers were pretty striking.
Really?
After working with the AI, a lot more scientists said they were planning to learn new skills to get new knowledge.
Okay.
Specifically, so they could work better with AI.
So they're not just sitting around waiting to see what happens.
No, definitely not.
They're active as these new technologies become more powerful.
They're not afraid of the challenge.
No.
They want to learn how to make AI work for them.
Exactly.
It's like they're saying, okay, AI is here to stay, so let's learn how to be the best scientists we can be in this new world.
I love that. And that attitude, that willingness to learn and change, that's going to be so important for anyone who wants to succeed in the future of research, no matter what field they're in.
This whole conversation about AI and the future of research makes me wonder, did these scientists have any clue what they were getting into before they started using this AI tool? Did they know how much it was going to change things?
A great question. And the research actually has a somewhat surprising answer, it seems like. Even these highly trained experts, the people who are at the cutting edge of materials science, they didn't fully grasp the implications of AI until they actually started working with it.
So even the scientists were surprised by how much the AI changed their work.
That's right. The survey showed that most of them didn't realize beforehand how much the AI would change their roles, how they did their work, even how satisfied they were with their jobs.
It's like they knew that AI was a big deal, but they didn't quite grasp how much it was going to shake things up.
Yeah, they knew a storm was coming, but they didn't realize how much it was going to reshape the entire landscape.
It makes you wonder what else we're underestimating about the impact of AI.
Right.
What other surprises are waiting for us as this technology continues to evolve?
It's definitely something to think about and something we'll keep exploring as AI becomes a bigger part of our lives.
Yeah, it really shows that we're all kind of figuring this out together, this whole AI thing.
We are. Even the experts are still learning as they go.
Yeah, it's a journey for everyone.
It is, and this research really helps us understand those challenges and the opportunities that are out there.
This deep dive has been like a total whirlwind.
It's
We've seen how AI can like totally speed up scientific discovery, push scientists to create things we've never seen before, and basically change the whole definition of what it means to be a scientist.
And we've also talked about the human side of all this, how scientists are both excited about this powerful AI, but also wrestling with what it means for their work, how they feel about their jobs. It's complex, you know?
It's a really interesting story that's still unfolding, and this research gives us a peek into this really important moment in time. What I really like about this deep dive is that it's not just about the cool technology. It's about what it means for us as people, for the future of work, for the kind of world we're creating. It's been mind-blowing, and it really makes you think.
I agree. It brings up a really important question. If AI can have this kind of impact on materials science, what other fields are ready for this kind of revolution?
Ooh, yeah, that's a big question. What are your predictions? What fields are you most excited to see AI shake up?
Well, we saw that AI really shines in areas with a ton of data and a clear goal. Drug discovery is already seeing huge benefits from AI, and I think we're just scratching the surface there.
Yeah.
But I'm also really excited about AI's potential to help us tackle some of the biggest problems facing humanity.
Like what? What kind of problems?
Think about climate change. We really need to develop new energy sources, new materials for capturing carbon, better ways to predict how the climate's going to change. AI could completely change the game in all of these areas.
It's like giving climate scientists a superpower, right?
Exactly.
They could run these huge simulations, analyze mountains of data at a scale we've never seen before, potentially leading to breakthroughs in renewable energy, sustainable agriculture, all sorts of important areas.
Exactly, and that's just one example. Imagine what's possible in personalized medicine, where AI could help tailor treatments to each individual patient based on their genes and their lifestyle, Or in neuroscience, where AI could help us unlock the secrets of the human brain and develop new treatments for brain disorders.
Wow, I'm getting chills just thinking about it. It feels like we're on the verge of this amazing new era of discovery, and AI is going to be a huge part of it.
It's an exciting time to be alive, and it's going to be fascinating to see how this all plays out. But like we saw in this research, it's not just about the technology, it's about how we use it, how we adapt to it, and how we make sure it ultimately benefits all of humanity.
That's a great point to end on. This deep dive has given me a whole new way of thinking about AI and the future of research. It's not just about robots taking over. It's about this powerful partnership between humans and AI, a collaboration that could help us solve some of the biggest challenges we face.
I couldn't agree more. And who knows, maybe someday we'll be doing a deep dive into the amazing research that you inspired by listening to this episode.
Haha, I like the sound of that. To all our listeners out there, what scientific breakthroughs are you most excited to see accelerated by AI? Share your thoughts with us on social media. We'd love to hear from you. And until next time, keep diving deep and keep exploring the incredible world of knowledge that's out there.
Absolutely.